Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Santowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC Fight Night, Lemos versus Jandiroba. This event goes down in 2.5 weeks. It goes down Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Prelims begin at 6 from the UFC Apex, Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the headliners of Amanda Lemos against Verna Jandiroba. Let's start with the prelim fights. Mohammed Usman against Thomas Peterson. I'm going to side with Mohammed Usman here, man. I think he barely lost to Mick Parkin in his last fight. And he was a slight dog in that fight, but Usman's looked good, man, so far at heavyweight. Thomas Peterson, he's on a one-fight losing streak. Lost to Jamal Pogues, who's at the lower end of the heavyweight division, but I'm going to side with Mohammed Usman. But again, two prospects. Look forward to watching this fight. Cody Durden against Bruno Silva. I don't think we've seen Bruno Silva in action in a while. It's been a little over a year. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. Good job for him. He's really turned his career around. Beat JP Vise, Victor Rodriguez, Tyson Nam. I don't think Nam's no longer with the promotion. And he's going up against Cody Durden here, who's also been pretty active. Cody Durden, 1-fight losing streak. Lost to Tagir Ulanbekov, no shame in that. Wins over Halley, Johnson, Carlos Molta, good wins. I'm going to side with Durden here to pick up the win by decision. Luana Carolina against Lucy Pudilova. So we got a striker in Carolina against a grappler in Pudilova. I like Carolina here, man. She's on a 2-fight winning streak. Pudilova, you know, I didn't really believe she deserved to come back to the UFC. She is fighting a weight class up from what she used to fight. But I like Luana Carolina here to pick up the win. Brian Kelleher against Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson's looked horrible. Kelleher's kind of on his way out. I'm going to side with Gibson here. But again, no real confidence in this pick. Hyder Amil against Ji Young Lee. Let's look at Ji Young Lee here. He's on an 8-fight win streak. Last win was in the UFC in February. Beat Blake Builder, which is impressive, man. I was kind of high on Blake Builder a little bit. So that's a good win there. Hyder Amil, 10-fight winning streak. Also picked up a win in February over Fernie Garcia. I'm going to side with the Korean here in Ji Young Lee to pick up the win. Loic Radzhabov against Trey Adjan. I was really impressed with Loic in his last fight, man. He does have a very thick back, man. Very strong dude. And he picked up that win over Abdul Karim El Sawadi in a fight where I kind of think he might have needed that finish to win, because I think it was kind of like 1-1 in that third round. So very good on his part to pick up that win. He does hit with some power. Trey Ogden, 1-fight winning streak, picked up a win in March over Kurt Holobaugh. Again, not really high on Kurt Holobaugh anymore, but hey, impressive in itself. I'm going to side with Loic here to pick up the win. Miranda Maverick against Diana Barbosa. I'll side with Maverick here by decision. Steve Garcia against Si Wong Choi. Just not really high on Choi, man. He's lost a lot of his steam. He picked up a win over Jarno Aarons in his last fight, and Aarons has looked pretty good. But again, you know, he lost 3 before that. You know, he really hasn't looked the same since probably in early 2021. But I'm going to side with Steve Garcia here to pick up the win. Brad Tavares against Jung Young Park. I'm going to side with Jung Young Park here to pick up the win. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. Lost to Andre Muniz. But he's got an impressive winning streak prior to that. So I will pick Park here to pick up the win. Doo Ho Choi against Bill Algeo. I'm kind of surprised Doo Ho Choi is still fighting, man. I mean, this guy's on a 3-fight losing streak. And this guy just fights when he wants, how he wants, I guess. I mean, lost to Charles Jourdain, Jeremy Stevens prior to that. Oh, well, he had a draw with Kyle Nelson. But lost to Jourdain, Stevens, Cub Swanson. Man, I mean, he hasn't picked up a win in the UFC since 2016. I mean, we're not kidding here, man. Yeah, there was a lot of hype on this guy back then, for sure, man. But he slowly lost that and he's going up against Bill Algeo. I'm going to side with the more active fighter here in Bill Algeo to pick up the win. Kurt Holloway against Kenan Kruschewsky. I'm going to side with Kruschewsky here. And in the main event, we got Amanda Lemos against Verna Jandiroba. And again, Verna Jandiroba currently in the minus 145 on BetOnline. Come back on. Amanda Lemos is plus 125. And I would probably say at the betting window, it probably is a dog or pass situation here. I'm going to side with Verna here, just based on her grappling ability. And Amanda Lemos she just throws herself in bad situations. And she has to, you know, try to fend off submission attempts. But, you know, Amanda Lemos obviously wants to keep this on the feet. Verna wants to get this on the ground. Verna's picked on a nice winning streak here. The only concern with Verna, I would say, in this fight is that it's a 5-round fight. And we've seen Lemos go 5 rounds with the champ Zhang. And Verna, we've seen her go 3. So, I mean, we could see Lemos pick up the last 2 rounds of this fight. I don't know. I mean, nothing will shock me, man. I kind of think that, you know, Lemos could be a live dog. But then there's, you know, part of me where I could just see Verna just completely controlling her for all these rounds. So, I mean, I'm going to side with Verna here. But again, I think if you're going to bet this fight, I think it probably is a dog or pass situation. So, my picks, guys: Verna Jandiroba, Kruschewsky, Algeo, Park, Garcia, Maverick, Radzhabov, Lee, Gibson, Carolina, Durden, and Usman.